doesn't speak for much, because once you volunteered to go into this thing and were forced in it by Como, especially in New York and Gavin and all these different people, making people line up and get these test kits and all that were faulty anyway, and were saying that the people and so forth, and then he moved and then he eased in this treatment. You know what I'm saying? But how is it going to turn the curve when we're looking at 8 new variants? You know what I'm saying? We must find out and nip it at the bud. How is it we see no end, is the question in sight. But there must be a cleaning up. You know what I'm saying? There's much to clean here. There's much to clean up here, because we don't need people, leaving their jobs. So the mandates must be removed. It shows only an overreach. And this is what we are seeing. It is definitely a full overreach. Now we hear talk. We hear talk of hearsay, coming from Austria, saying they may become the first. I guess the Austrians in the Austrian country Austria is saying they'll be the first to lock down, to force a lockdown on the people who were untreated. So the untreated now are being locked down, as we see, because the untreated refuse to do what they say. So we see the beginning of Oceania, you know what I'm saying, in its fullness. You know what I mean? So Austria seems to be the first nation talking about locking down the untreated, you know what I'm saying? And saying it's on the card. So that means that they're discussing it. But this is ridiculous. This seems to be, now no more, actually, no more than trickery. You know what I'm saying? At its best. At its best. Lock down the untreated. You know what I'm saying? This is it isn't shouldn't this be the other way around? They should be locking down the sick away from the well, Austria, and stop the testing. You know what I'm saying? Because the public interest, serves by maintaining our constitutional structure and maintaining the liberty of individuals to make a intensely, personal decision. And that's a fact and point blank. We don't see it no other way. You know what I'm saying? So we don't understand what the forcing and the mandates is about, because that doesn't show well, but no more than a Gestapo movement in our government. Now the court said that Oceania, had overstepped, the agency. When you look at the subsidiary authority created by I think it was created by the 1970. I think it was during the 70s when this came out, because I remember hearing a lot about it when I was first, was going, trying to get a job, even at 13 years old. You know what I'm saying? When I saw, when you look at it, now the court said that OSHA has had overstepped the agency subsidiary authority. I think that's the word. Statutory authority created by the 1970 Occupational Safety and Health Act. You know what I'm saying? The Health Act, to regulate workplace safety by applying the rules to two out of three private sector employees in America in the workplace, you know what I'm saying, as diverse as the country itself. You know what I'm saying? Which makes a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? because one good point that is you can't have the same type of mandate for everyone anyway, because some people don't work around other people, and some people work outside and away from people, and some people may sit in a taxi cab for hours and only be there by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it might not be the same, and it doesn't seem why it should be of a company having more over 100 employees or more. Something doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Some don't make sense. My question still holds water. What is the mandate? And, to me, what is the mandate for? Really? What is the mandate? And how do Oceana, have so much power to hold over the people, business, to hold over the people and businesses of the people within the government jurisdiction? Really doesn't make any sense. Is it to me, and you know, is using a 1970 approach that Biden used to impose this this bullshit, really, to impose the bullshit. It sounds very sneaky to me. You know what I mean? And still, it is a unfair practice for the president to force, using Oceana seems to ring a bell somewhere with me. There seems to ring a bell somewhere. I heard this before. You know what I'm saying? A long time ago, where it got to the point where OSHA had even got so much power to where, they had the people sort of under the same guise as what you saw in the movie V. You know what I'm saying? You need to look at that movie. It shows Oceana at its best. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it rings a bell as to the overreach, as to, the point to seek total control. Basically, that's what had happened in the movie V, where they had so much full control to the point where they still had the people under the lockdown, under the guise that they had some kind of virus, and used the virus, and it took out many, but it also left the people left the country totally under the control of government, to the point where all your rights and everything were being completely deteriorated. You know what I'm saying? But we see the overreach to the point of seeking total control here in America with Biden administration and these Marxists and socialists or whoever they are, based on the deep state. You know what I'm saying? Because they used the catalyst, was the virus. You know what I'm saying? The catalyst was the virus. I think same in the movie would be. OSHA should have no place. You know what I'm saying? No place at all. Biden nor OSHA can prove nothing to me. They cannot prove the true findings. No true findings, as a matter of fact. But they use their, no one can prove their findings, but they use their own, who we must find, or what we must find, in a conspiracy of terrorism. To me, in other words, it seems like they cannot prove nothing in their findings, but they're using their own, but who we must find out about is in a conspiracy of terrorism, against the American people, and who was listening to Creepy Joe Biden. And I'm still asking this question, when he was preaching open borders on his campaign trail for years and different shit like that. Who was even listening to him to even entertain such a treason of an opening of a border on the American people is a question I really, really don't like. Who was really, So it seems like a lot of people were down with the garbage. But who would have even been listening to him or even allow him to pass that off as even any kind of law or any kind of policy to be preaching at all, knowing what could happen to this country based on this approach, and don't care as long as he brings in any and anybody that would give him and believe that he gave them freedom like they like to do, and have them believing that they are he helped them in some way.